All over the country, thousands of people are members of the LGPS, the Local Government Pension Scheme. It's the official staff pension scheme for people who work for local authorities and partner organisations, doing all kinds of jobs, mending our roads, working in libraries, looking after our parks and gardens, and feeding our children in school. If you're in this pension scheme, you need to know about some big changes which are heading our way from April 2014, so we've put this short video together to tell you more. A pension scheme is simply a way of saving for your future, and if you're in a company scheme, getting your employer to pay in as well. The best types of company pension schemes are ones where your benefits are based on a set formula, not on the ups and downs of investments. In the past, a popular way of providing this security was through something called a final salary pension scheme. But now there's a new kid on the block, the career average scheme. It has many of the features of a final salary scheme. No worries about investments and benefits linked to your pay and how many years you build up. From 2014, your local government pension will become a career average scheme, and this is how it'll work. In a career average scheme, as each year goes by, you build up a portion of your pay for that year, a bit like a slice of cake. Let's see how this will happen year by year. In your first year, we look at your pay for that year, and you build up a portion of that pay in pension benefits. This pension pot is then banked and rolled forward to the next year. In year 2, we take the pension pot you've already built up and we top that up so it grows in line with prices to protect its buying power. Then we look at your pay for year 2 and you build up another pot of pension benefits, a portion of your pay for that year. The 2 pension pots you built up so far are both rolled forward to year 3, where once again we top them up so they keep their buying power. Then we look at your pay in year 3 and you build up another pot of pension benefits, a portion of your pay in that year. This process carries on down the line until the point you retire, when we simply add all your separate pots together to work out your total package of benefits. Now, you might be wondering how big a portion of your pay you will build up each year in the new career average scheme. In fact, you'll build up 1/49th of your pay each year, and that's a bigger portion than the old final salary scheme, where you built up 1/60th of your final pay for each year. We know that some members don't quite believe us when we tell them that a portion of 1/49th is bigger than a portion of 1/60th. So imagine for a moment you're at a wedding. There are 60 guests. When it comes to cutting the cake, they cut it into 60 pieces, so you each get 1/60th. Now imagine if there were only 49 guests at the wedding. They would only need to cut the cake into 49 pieces, so you would each get a bigger piece of cake. You would get 1/49th. But just because we're changing to a career average scheme doesn't mean we're completely scrapping the final salary scheme. Far from it. Let's look now at how we'll protect what you've built up in the final salary scheme when the new scheme comes in. In 2014, we will simply make a note of how many years you've built up by that time in the old final salary scheme. We'll then carry that forward and use it with your actual final pay when you eventually retire, and that could be a very long time in future. So the final salary benefits you've built up before 2014 will stay as final salary benefits. Here are some more things for you to think about. In the new career average scheme, we'll be looking at pay each year, both to work out the cost to you and your benefits for that year. This means we can be more flexible in the type of pay we look at. So in the new scheme, as well as looking at the obvious things like your basic pay, we'll be able to look at overtime as well. And if you work part-time, we will simply use your actual part-time pay to work out your benefits, rather than having to adjust your pay and membership as we have in the past. Also, if you're part-time, you could find yourself paying less in from 2014. That's because in the new scheme, it will be your actual part-time pay which decides what percentage you pay in. In the old scheme, this was set by your full-time equivalent pay. Let's move on now to retirement age. Since people are tending to live longer, we've all got to think about drawing our pensions a little later. So in the new scheme, normal retirement will be tied into our individual state pension age at the time we retire. This is already 65 for many members, with changes to 66, 67 and even 68 planned. Of course, that doesn't mean you have to work till that age, but it can mean early retirement reductions if you choose to retire before then. So there you have it. From 2014, we will become a career average scheme. The new scheme offers great benefits where you build up 1/49th of your pay each year, and your pension pots grow each year to protect their buying power. So all in all, it's a great way of building up worry-free pension benefits. Thanks for looking in, and if you'd like to find out more, there are some contact details coming up on the screen now.